Hello, welcome back to this channel. So today I'm going to talk about a marketing law, the law of focus. I find that focus has been one of the biggest issues of my business, and it has been one of the biggest issues for a lot of other business people. So in this episode, I'm going to talk about how to gain your focus, and mainly we're going to study together the law of focus by reading a blog post by Eric Sink. He is a software. He's a software guru. So he's he's very successful, and he has his own company. I read his blog post many years ago, and I found it back now, and so let's take a look. So this article was published in 2004. So law number 5, the law of focus. It is one of the 22 immutable laws of marketing. In this blog post, he mentioned this is one of his favorite chapters. He wrote a series of the blog posts on the immutable laws of marketing. So let me read out loud, and then let's study together. So the law of focus says that the most powerful concept in marketing is owning a word in the prospect's mind. This law challenges us to boil our marketing message down to just one idea. If you can teach your market segment to associate your product with a single idea, perhaps even a single word, you can be a market leader. Count your words. So when entrepreneurs ask me for advice, I usually ask them to explain their product in 25 words or less. Hardly anybody can do it. The software developer is in love with his product and is unaware of the fact that nobody else is. Ask him to talk about his product, and he will give you 20 minutes of rambling love poetry, starting with a feature set and ending with a description of some arcane aspect of the product's underlying architecture. So it's interesting. I also have this same problem, falling in love with the product and not focused on the customer. Okay, let's keep reading. The customer has lost interest after the first 10 seconds. The wire between your marketing efforts and your customer's mind is an extremely low bandwidth connection. Less is more. During the dot-com bubble, as we all wasted 3 years of our lives chasing venture capitalists around like groupies, they taught us one useful concept, the elevator pitch. This is a major step in the right direction. The idea is that you have to explain your product and its benefits in the amount of time you spend in an elevator. In other words, you've got well under a minute. No time for product love poetry. But the law of focus would claim that an elevator ride is far too long. The law of focus would insist that a 25-word description is about 24 words too many. The law of focus demands that we explain our product in one word. Wright and Trout say, no matter how complicated the product, no matter how complicated the needs of the market, it's always better to focus on one word or benefit than 2 or 3 or 4. Examples. What shipping company comes to mind when you hear the word overnight? Federal Express. What ketchup comes to mind when you hear the word slow? Heinz. What insurance company comes to mind when you hear the word hence? Allstate. Each of these companies has used a single idea or word as the basis for its primary message. For another example, take a look at 2 of the major wireless phone providers in the United States today. Each of them has carefully chosen just one concept as their message. For Sprint, the concept is clarity. 10 times a week, we hear their spokesman clearing up some goofy misunderstanding caused by the unclear calls of one of their competitors. For Verizon Wireless, the concept is coverage. 20 times a week, we hear their spokesman saying, Can you hear me now? Good. These two companies each have plenty of other benefits they could be talking about. They could tell us about their great selection of phones. They could brag about their pricing. They could talk about safety issues. Instead, they have each focused their marketing message around just one idea. As the chapter says, the essence of marketing is narrowing the focus. You become stronger when you reduce the scope of your operations. Crafting your message. It is okay to have more information handy. Data sheets and white papers are great. Once people get interested, they will probably want all the detail you can provide. But for first impressions, you should tell the world only one thing about your product. You can use 2 to 3 words as long as you are not trying to sneak in extra ideas. Usually, you need only one word. But which word to pick? Pick a reasonably common word out of the dictionary. It should be a word that everybody understands. Don't invent a new word that nobody has ever heard. Don't try to associate your product with a word in the customer's mind if that word is already associated with your competitor. Don't pick the word cheap or any other synonyms. Very few businesses can thrive while making low price their primary message. Walmart is one of those businesses. Your small independent software business is not. Don't pick the word quality unless you can prove that you care about quality a lot more than everybody else. As Ryan Trout say, everybody stands for quality. As a result, nobody does. Sheepish confession. Among the many violators of this law is SourceGear itself. Shameful as it seems, we built the marketing message for Volt around 3 ideas, not one: reliability, internet readiness, seamless transition from SourceSafe. We've been very consistent about using the same 3 talking points in all of our advertising materials and presentations. We sometimes vary the way we explain them, but we always work with these same 3 points. This campaign has worked out very well for us, but the law of focus says we would be even more effective if we replace our 3-point message with just a 1-point message. So in the future, we will probably move in that direction. Okay, so that's his blog post, by Eric Sink. And it's very important that you have really a laser focus on your marketing message. So as we learned today, you need to have just one, you need to have really clarity on your marketing and just have one marketing focus rather than focusing on 3 benefits or features. So I hope that helps with your business. So I certainly learned a lot today. Okay, so that's it for today, and I think probably in the future we'll go over the other immutable laws of marketing as well, and we'll learn together. So we'll see you next time. Bye.